Well, for many years, the left, particularly the shallow televised left, has attacked companies for their sexism. Especially in tech, they have told us about a pay gap. Women, they tell us, are paid less than men for no reason other than bigotry, sexism. Well, these attacks are the reason tech companies are in part so vocally left-wing. It's why James Damore at Google had to be fired immediately for expressing his opinions. At Google, leaders decided to do an internal investigation on the question of the pay gap. They reviewed every employee's job, every employee's performance to see if there was sexism lurking in the hearts of their employees and reflected in their paychecks. And it turns out there was sexism. They found quite a bit of it. There were thousands of people being paid less than colleagues doing the same work. But in a twist, most of these employees were in fact men. Google and the New York Times were apparently shocked by this finding, but why would they be? It's exactly what you would expect. The press has spent years attacking one sex as naturally bigoted and demanding the other be hired more, paid more, prioritized more, and thanks to those calls, guess what they were? So maybe the best way to achieve fairness is to advocate for fairness, but that has never occurred to anyone in Washington. They're too dumb. Well, American tech companies used to, not so long ago, tout themselves as champions of freedom in American life. Now tech has replaced government as the leading vector of censorship. Google employees have been caught discussing how to manipulate search results to promote their views on immigration, among other things. Facebook has clamped down on conservative-friendly news stories. Almost every tech company increasingly is willing to use its censorship powers to shape what you see in order to benefit their political agenda. Raheem Hassan is the new global editor-in-chief of HumanEvents.com, and we're happy to have him come tonight. Raheem, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Do you think it's fair to say that the tech sector has replaced government as the main censorship threat that we face?
Yeah, I mean, it's become absolutely abhorrent. And it's not just abhorrent because these are very successful corporate entities that are, putting their power up against not just the American people, by the way. You can probably hear from my accent. I'm not from here. They're doing it in the United Kingdom, doing it all across Europe, and indeed all around the world. But what's particularly egregious about it is that they are the benefactors not of the free market. They're the actual benefactors of government intervention on their behalves. The Communications Decency Act in the United States allows the Googles and the Facebooks and the Twitters to be classed as non-publishers, which means they are just platforms and can get away with making editorial decisions. I was banned last week from Facebook. That's an editorial decision they made. And I have, as an individual, no recourse against them, no legal recourse against them. They are protected within U.S. legislation against me as an individual.
So they have a special deal from the U.S. Congress.
Of course.
They also have government contracts up one side and down the other.
Absolutely. And so when people like me, there are a lot of what we call, the boomer conservatives out there who say, oh, but the free market, the free market, the free market. But it's not a free market. They're actually undergirded and underwritten by government intervention. So all we're saying is take that away, let us be able to sue them if we want to, and let's hear it out in the courts.
So what is the counter-argument, and why haven't Republicans, whose job it is to protect their own voters, I don't know if anyone's told them that, why haven't they moved to strip the tech?
And even more so, it's not just about protecting their own voters, it's about protecting everyone, right? It's about protecting the First Amendment for everyone. And actually, you're starting to see in the United Kingdom, because we have this hard left loony Labour Party with Jeremy Corbyn in charge, even some of the hard left in the UK are now being kicked off Twitter, and they're starting to concern themselves with free speech all of a sudden. So it's about protecting everyone. And what I don't understand, I mean, somebody who's been very good on this, by the way, in particular, is Donald Trump Jr., right? Yes. And he almost, if you could describe it like this, rode to my rescue when I was banned from Facebook last week and made it a big international story. But it's not about me, and it shouldn't be about people like me who can get Don Jr. to help me out. Ordinary people use social media to keep in touch with their loved ones, to get pictures of their grandchildren, and there's a big question mark, I think, over especially older people who use it to keep in touch with people who are being kicked off because they've said something incorrect or they've said something politically incorrect, right? And that's who I'm concerned about. And I'm afraid your congressmen, your senators, especially on the right, are just sort of sitting there and letting this happen.
I think Republican voters especially should demand that the representatives do something immediately.
Yeah.
Like yesterday.
Yesterday, 5 years ago.
No, I couldn't agree more. It's great to see. Congratulations. I know you just took over Human Events.
Thank you very much.
Good for you.